Hey everybody, welcome to the Trophy Lounge, episode 6. It is once again IDP for Life with Kryptonite Dragon.
Howdy.
Alright, and for those who are live listeners, once again, we're late. Don't blame us. You can blame technology. You can blame Bill Gates. You can blame Skynet. But we're working through those issues, so hopefully in a while we will I will uphold the promise and bring it to you guys live. But that's why I like to pre-record, so I can, make all the mistakes I want without your judgment. But anyway, well, this
couple
is
more years and we
basically...
should have it.
Say what?
A couple more years of practice and we should have it down.
Hopefully. This is basically the E3 episode for the Trophy Lounge. I listened to the pod station, so we're going to completely try to go the opposite way of where they went. We're not going to do a full spectrum of it. Of course, Kryptonite Dragon already went through his likes and dislikes of it. This is just kind of me touching on what I liked as a consumer, as a gamer. Just to jump right into it, first off, the price of the PS4 has been confirmed at $399.99. That to me was huge. That basically confirmed that I'm definitely getting one on the day it comes out. That price is just what, $100 cheaper than the Xbox One, and I've read some articles and I've even heard Dante talking about, you get certain things when you buy the Xbox One, like the Kinect, yada yada yada. I don't care. For me as a gamer, if I was going to choose between the Xbox One and the PS4 and I'm already on the fence about it, the fact that it's $100 cheaper automatically sign me up. I'm excited about that. That's like, what, $50 off from what I said it might be. I said it's going to be $349.99.
Yeah, I was $50 the other way. I was thinking it was going to be $450.
Yeah, so we kind of met in the middle.
Went in the middle, yeah.
But beyond that, also the PlayStation, which they were smart about it. They knew what questions were out there and what people were wanting to hear from them. So the price, the release date, they just said holiday 2013, so, Black Friday, basically.
Probably.
And then they did the whole used game segment, which I don't know if you saw that commercial. It was like a little segment that they did on the used game guidelines for the PS4, and it was just one guy passing a game to another guy.
Yeah, he hands it to him, and the other guy says, "Thank you."
Exactly. So that was smart. I mean, it was funny. It was tongue-in-cheek. But that was really smart of PlayStation to, first off, make fun of it.
Yeah.
But also, to just reassure all the customers that, this is how it's going to be. You don't have anything else to worry about. I gotta be honest, this 45 minutes to an hour that we're going to talk about it, I have nothing but good things to say. I don't want you guys to think I'm being a fanboy, because I'm really not. But as a consumer, I'm just like, look, they answered all the questions that I wanted, and they kind of brought their A game. Only thing I'm kind of concerned about is the whole Gaikai thing. That wasn't really explained, at least to my liking. And I'd also, which this to me is not a big deal, at least for me, you're going to have to be a PSN subscriber to play online.
Oh, PS Plus subscriber.
Yeah, a PS Plus, excuse me.
Yep.
Which that's kind of similar to the current Xbox Live. That didn't bother me, though, because...
Well, I wouldn't say it's similar, because now keep in mind they're paying just for Xbox Gold gets them up until now. They've never given anything free with it. It was just for online connectivity, whereas the PS Plus will be required for online connectivity on the PS4. However, PS Plus, understand right now the way it stands, you get all the free games. So people are paying for PS Plus anyway. It's got a lot of benefits. It's actually $50 a year, which Xbox is $60. Not a big difference. But it's quite a difference when you consider like 18 free games over the year.
I mean, yeah, you get the free
games.
And
they're starting to be better and better. At first, PS Plus really was just offering terrible games, but I mean, we gotta we got to say, I mean, you're talking about Drive Club, getting that at launch with your PS Plus. That's a $60 AAA title. Um,
Right.
and Xbox just recently announced they're going to start giving games away, but they're giving away like an old version of Halo, an old, I mean, it's like, I mean,
I mean,
this PS Plus
just
is
for
pretty awesome
me,
compared.
it just seems like it's similar, and I just mean the similarity in the fact that you're paying for online connectivity.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
it sucks to
simply
be
it.
doing that, but
Well,
at
at
least
least
it's in
for
this
me
way.
though, I don't play that much online. Like I play online when I get like a new fighting game.
Hmm.
I'll hop online to like battle people, but that's pretty much it. So
Hmm.
for consumers like me, that's fine.
Well,
That's
now,
something that if I want it, I'll get it. Maybe somebody would get it for me for my birthday or Christmas.
yeah. I mean,
So
keep in
that's kind
mind
of the
too, like I was just on PlayStation Home earlier today. They have a free month of PlayStation Plus, so I recommend checking that out. You can try it. They have those regularly. They have where you buy like 3 months, you get the fourth month free and stuff. You can pay by, buy it in smaller portions instead of paying $50 for the entire year. And then the other thing that to really keep in mind is it's not online connectivity that you're paying for. Again, it's multiplayer, so you will still be able to get online. You'll still be able to get in the store and do all that other stuff. Um, and as far as I know, just to be able to activate and get onto multiplayer servers for games, you'll need the PlayStation Plus. So you'll still be able to get on there. You still have online. You'll still be able to do a lot of the things. But if you want to play online multiplayer on games, that's what the PlayStation Plus will do with that connectivity.
okay.
So I mean, in all fairness, you're not losing online connectivity.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, I
not
hopefully
apples to
nobody
apples
took it
with
that way.
Microsoft's setup.
Yeah, because like when I was explaining, I only get on to play fighting games.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. The whole multiplayer aspect. I'm not a big first-person shooter, so that's what I'm saying. But people like me, when it's just every once in a blue moon, I'll hop online for multiplayer.
Hmm.
That did not affect you at all when they announced you're gonna have to be a PlayStation Plus subscriber, and then with you saying that, hopping on PlayStation Home, you can find um, you see that they're doing that right now?
Oh yeah, you can go to the E3. Um, all this week at least. You can go to the Sony E3 virtual world inside
Mhm.
PlayStation Home, and they have giveaways. I've gotten, let's see, dynamic themes for like The Last of Us, Destiny. They have Music Unlimited. I think they have a free month of that. There's some little things you run around, you collect things at the E3 booths and watch the videos and things, and you earn not only inside PlayStation Home, they have clothes and stuff that you can earn freebies. But then
Oh, okay.
you can also get codes that will allow you to get like a month of PlayStation Plus, a
See,
month
I
of
didn't know
Music
that. I'm actually
Unlimited.
gonna log on when we get off and try that out.
And Music Unlimited, for those that don't know, Music Unlimited is you can download songs. It's essentially iTunes for
Hmm.
Sony, and so I mean the whole package is there for you to like try that stuff and see if you like it before even we even get to the PS4 because let's face it, I mean they got PS Plus, it's already just become awesome. And then with all this other stuff going to be added in there, the price isn't changing. I mean, it's a no-brainer that it's a must-have. And I don't care what
Hmm.
they say. It's pretty much if you're an online gamer, it's mandatory. I mean, you're not going to get around it. Even if you just log in every once in a while and play on fighting games, the free games are going to be worth it. Drive Club is going to be worth it. So,
And the other thing, real quick, this is from what I just read today. Actually, PlayStation is going to have 40 exclusives. I think there's going to be seven at launch, and then, oh, I'm sorry, 12 at launch, and then the rest will be throughout the first 2 years. But Xbox One so far only has 15 exclusives, and that's looking out 2 years in advance. That to me, that's kind of stupid on Xbox's part. When people, at least I assume, when people purchase actual video game systems, especially nowadays, they do it for the original exclusives to the system. Like, Halo. That's for Xbox. So if I'm a Halo fan or I want to know what Halo 2 or 3 was going to be like, I would have got an Xbox 360. Um, with these exclusives, I mean that's to me it's just another point that PlayStation gets because they're willing to take chances, in my opinion, and they're going to try. Hopefully, there's going to be new things that they're trying, not just it's a PS exclusive, but it plays just like God of War or something.
Yeah.
And then the other thing before we get into, because mainly this is going to be about the games. From what I saw, from what I'm excited about, and from what Kryptonite Dragon is excited about. But the new slogan, I would assume, is "Greatness awaits." Did you
Hmm.
get that?
Yes, yeah. I mean, it looks like they're going to start a new marketing campaign and yet again switch their their slogan around. I've been a fan of they need to stick to something and they need to get it right, and maybe they will going forward. But they appear to have a new focus with their advertising, a new slogan, and it's not too bad.
Yeah, I liked it. I was watching I watched the commercial again on YouTube, and I was just reading some of the comments 'cause I was interested in what other people had to say, and it was all positive feedback, and then like a couple people kind of had the same train of thought where to them that commercial of greatness awaits. Because if you haven't seen the commercial, at least the one I'm talking about, it's just like some slick back hair guy. Looks like he can be like a GTA extra. He's in a car. He's just talking straight to you in the camera. And then as he's walking past, all these iconic game characters are fighting, and then ends up being this big battle scene. In the end, there's a dragon,
Yeah, there's all kinds
swords,
of figures from games and
explosions,
yeah,
and he
ninjas.
has this big speech. And basically, he's just telling us as the gamer, why are we going to limit ourselves when we can do X, Y, Z? When we put the controller in our hands, we're a god, basically.
Hmm.
And I was just talking to people, and I was reading some of the comments, and to them, it was kind of like, okay, with him saying that, it's almost like PlayStation is saying to us, this system is for everyone. Like, don't limit yourself. The system's for everyone. We want everybody to enjoy it. Everybody's gonna get something from this new system.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like a powerful slogan. That was the fact that people who, I don't know, they can be anywhere in the world, that they're commenting that, that's what that commercial said to them. Then I think they did, A plus on your marketing scheme.
Hmm. So what about games? What did you watch the whole? Did you get to watch Sony and Microsoft and EA, Ubisoft?
I did not watch Microsoft. I am going to watch it, but I didn't get a chance to watch it.
Okay.
Which I pretty much say this every time I hop on the podcast. I have a job that I hate, and ironically enough, it hates me back. So the night that I was going to watch the whole EA conference, I got a call to come into work. So I've been trying to catch up today, and I just basically caught up on all Sony, and then I'm gonna catch up on the other systems later. Because I'm going to be fair, I'm not going to be completely biased. But I'm gonna catch up on the other systems later. But I mean, was there something from Xbox that you saw that was interesting?
Well, I liked Titanfall. That's an exclusive for Xbox. It looked really
Hmm.
cool. I got to say, I really liked the look of that game. Um, and then there was the other one people are talking about, which is the Roman battle. I'm not sure if it's called Rise or Reese or it's Ryse. But either way, I'm not a fan of it. It had a lot of button press sequences and stuff like that in it, but it did look to have really good graphics and combat and stuff. But it didn't look like you had a lot of freedom in terms of that. But
Hmm.
yeah, those are the things that stood out a little bit for me for Xbox. Um, their press conference really didn't address anything all those questions that people had, I think they were left with, even more questions about it. They didn't seem to pause and catch a breath and talk about anything about the way the system worked. They just completely went, all out about games and stuff like that. So I was kind of like, I don't know. It was, I could see if you were an Xbox gamer, you'd be left with even more questions, especially if you're not peeking outside of E3 to see some of the other stuff and, keep up on it and ask those questions directly
Yeah.
and find out the answers about how all that stuff works. You were just left with even more questions. So,
I mean, we kind of assumed, like last week and the week before, that Xbox is going to kind of shy away from those type of questions. Um, I feel like Xbox said what it said, how this is going to be when they did their presentation, and it is what it is. Like they're looking more to try to make it like a television all-in-one, I guess. And
yeah,
gaming
but
is
they
like,
stepped away from that during the conference. They didn't really mention TV.
well, you would have to. I mean, it's
But
a E3 conference.
if there was more to it, was like, for those of you that kind of were listening in between and kind of following some of the carnage that has ensued afterwards with the tweets
Hmm.
and statements and stuff published, by Microsoft executives, it was like, we're going to answer all those questions soon. I mean, there was really a lot of things that ended with that as the response, like, we'll address that stuff soon.
And you
And
would hope it would be
and E3
E3.
comes along and it's like, you really didn't address it. You still haven't addressed it. And they
Right.
have this attitude of like, come to our booth, watch the videos, find it. It's like, isn't your press conference supposed to be about the system? And when you ignore that kind of stuff, it's almost, like you don't have an answer, you don't um, believe in what you have to say, something along those lines, where it's just kind of like fill in the freaking gaps. And even talking with Dante before, I was like, watch Sony come out. It'd be good to have them explain about DRM and those kind of things, even if in brief. And I made a comment like, they've got a lot of ground to cover, because I knew they were going to talk about a ton of games, which they did.
Hmm.
But they literally, like, right in the middle of the conference, they had the slideshow kind of come up, and it's like, they just hammered it out real quick. It didn't take a lot of time at all. Like, we will not, be doing anything with used games. They're yours
Yeah, and I
still.
think that's all it really. I mean, that's all that's needed, really. I mean, we don't need a big speech about how you're going to
Right.
do used games and yada yada yada. But I mean, I'm like I said, I'm going to watch the Xbox conference probably later on tonight. I'm not going to be like
You're not gonna rush to do it.
completely biased. Yeah, like I mean, I'm not like in a rush to, but I mean, I do want to hear what they have to say. I am interested in what type of games that they'll be coming out. I mean, actually, literally while we're talking, I'm watching Rise: Son of Rome.
Hmm.
Um, I do see all the cut scenes, like all the push button scenes. That looks like it's going to be pretty annoying, but it looks like it's a good game. Like
Looks like the
the
graphics and
graphics look
stuff are
nice.
awesome. Yeah. But I mean,
But
throughout this whole thing, like I was expecting a little bit more from Sony too in terms of information. They did a really good job. They covered a lot, but I would have liked to have known the price point on the camera. I would like to see a little bit of that demonstrated. I think they're going to hold off for Gamescom and show a lot more. Um, there's still questions about both systems, but
I mean, that's
Sony
the
really,
thing,
if you watch Xbox later, just tell me if Sony didn't bring out, like, it seems like just twice as much game content. Um, so they just brought it. This conference was just overflowing with information and games and game footage and things, big surprises. Elder Scrolls Online, like,
hmm
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, Sony is definitely setting themselves up to lead the next generation. I feel like they kind of had this in mind ever since the PS3 came out, like what we're going to do next to top this.
Yep.
And they're answering everyone's questions basically, because I mean, just from what I saw, I'm completely impressed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something we didn't really mention too. When you get the multiplayer with PlayStation Plus, understand that Sony's got a really big lineup of free-to-play games.
Hmm.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of free-to-play games coming, and Yeah, a lot of them have microtransactions to buy extra stuff to kind of, pass certain milestones of your character and everything. But, um, we're talking about out of the box. PS4. It's going to have home in some shape or fashion. From everything I've heard, you're going to have PlayStation Plus and everything, all those games. That you're getting for $50 a year, so less than $5 a month. That's just, they're going to blow it out of the water. I don't care what anybody says. They've got it. They've got it in tune. They've got it right. They got a good price point. They have some awesome bundles. Have you seen some of the bundles for even just PS3?
Yeah, I
The
have.
GTA.
I was about to say that the GTA bundle was like the main one that they were talking about.
People are going to be buying PS3s again just because of how awesome
Which
they
I
are.
think that's smart. I mean, like we
Yeah.
kind of discussed this in a couple podcasts previous, but like every time Sony moves on to the next generation, they always do something big for the previous generation.
Yeah.
So like, they don't leave anybody out, which I think that's very smart because you might have an Xbox 360 or someone who has a Wii or even like a Nintendo DS and they want to get into the console and they're like, okay, well, maybe I don't want an Xbox 360, but I can't afford a PlayStation or I don't want a PS4 right now, so I'll just get a PS3.
Yeah. I'll wait a couple years till there's a whole ton of games on it, for example.
Exactly, that might be something because that's something that sounds more like me. Even though I'm very excited, I am gonna get the PS4 as soon as it comes out. I'm the type of person that I don't watch seasons when they come out. I'll wait until they're over and then watch it all at once. So that sounds like more like me. Where I will want to wait until PS4 has at least maybe 50 to 70 titles. I'm like, okay, I'll get it now. But from what I saw, I'm gonna get it immediately. The games that I
Did that
saw,
convert you? Did that convert you? I mean,
what?
do you think a lot of people went from like, well, I'll get it, down the road, I'll wait a little bit, and then a lot of people like switched over? Because I think there was a shift where people were like, yeah, the PS4 looks great. And then, like, with this, it seems like just with all the titles, I've seen a lot more people like, oh, I'm day one now. Or
Yeah, I
I'm
mean, I
definitely
was
day
kind
one.
of
It's
excited
confirmed.
from the beginning because like I was never like I'm just not a first adapter
Yeah.
because like when you buy something it's like it's the first generation of it, it always has the glitches and things are messing up, so I always usually wait a while. But ever since the it's just like ever since the PlayStation 4 conference, like every single month I'm like, well, maybe I will buy it. And then as soon as I heard how much it cost, I'm like, okay, well, there's no reason for me not to get it immediately. And then with all the games that I saw, even if most of these games won't come out at launch, PlayStation already said that they have 20 titles that are going to be coming out with it at launch.
Hmm.
So just think about all the games that you want to play now for the PS3, and like there's probably like maybe like 5 or 6 games that you want to play right now. You barely have the time to do that. So I'm willing to get the PS4 now and maybe play 3 games initially, and just keep buying games as it goes along. Um, they mentioned briefly about with Gaikai and with some other technology. I forgot what they were referring to, but we'll be able to play PS1, PS2, and PS3 games.
Well, here's the story. I've been trying to follow the news because there's a few things that have been left with me on. I haven't been able to find out. First off, there's some kind of deal between Rockstar and Sony in the works, and it's supposed to be a
Hmm.
big announcement of some sort. From everything I've heard and read in articles and stuff, there's something hanging out there, and I think it'll be Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PS4. It'll be some kind of online connectivity, something to do probably with Rockstar, and the share button is what I'm assuming. But I don't know. I mean, it could be anything, but it speaks to being something big like that. That's the first thing. But then Gaikai, for those of you that don't know, I've been following it. Trying to learn as much as I can about that because I want backwards compatibility really bad. But from the sounds of it, Gaikai will not be available at launch of the PS4. but they're talking about the first part of next year that it will be available. And the great thing about Gaikai is that it's a streaming service where they have got it down where they are able to stream games, and this leaves open the possibility of playing old games from old consoles on the PS4. And so that's just the way the streaming works. It doesn't have anything really to do with the technology on the PS4 as much as it does the streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
You stream a movie. You're essentially watching a movie. It's just streaming the movie to you. There's nothing different than if you're remotely controlling a video game via the internet, and it's actually playing the game somewhere else and streaming the video game activity to your screen. Do you understand the connection there? It's almost like the same kind of thing. Streaming a movie versus streaming a video game. Your video game, when you play it locally, you put a disc in, it's doing all the calculations and everything to project something not unlike a movie to your TV. But if you are connected over the internet and you play that game on Sony servers and it projects the quote-unquote game movie across the internet, you're essentially opening up where any of the old titles they can make available through Gaikai. And I anticipate that it'll either be a subscription separate, or maybe even combined with PlayStation Plus or something along those lines. Imagine, if they charged $100 a year or something where, you could play any PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3 game. Just open up every one of those titles and make it so, like, no matter what, you just can stream all those. I mean, that would just be...
That would be
phenomenal.
Huge.
Even if you had to buy them again, those older games are not going to be considered at top prices. And I don't care what you say, if I can use my PS4 to play my old PS2 favorites, and they have Sony has patented a trophy system where they can easily add trophies to those old games. Now you're talking about titles like Oblivion, Bully, things like that were my favorites and stuff that I played from PlayStation 2 and the first on PlayStation 3 that didn't have trophy support, have never gotten trophy support, that would then have trophies, and and now it's years later and maybe they would sell for, even if they were $10 a game for those old games. Dude, sign me up. I mean, how many people are going to go back and play all those favorites, especially trophy hunters? The patent that they got allows them to just easily add trophies to all those old games by having the PS4 sense that you've passed milestones by reaching certain points on the game, instead of having it the current system. When you put trophies in, they have to recertify the game. It costs the company money to put trophies on old games that are released, because they have to recertify the game then, that the game works properly and that you reach certain points. It's in the code, basically on the disc, so to speak, that you reach a certain point and then it trips a little thing and it sends the trophy to you, and there you go. This system that they've just patented, you can stream an old game through Gaikai, and it would sense when you reach a certain point, and it would just put the trophies on your system. And then not to mention all the stuff to talk about, carrying your controller around and that actually sensing that it's your controller, logging into your account, putting your trophies on your account. When you take your controller over to a friend's house and play a game that you've got, and bing, you pop a trophy for your account. You take it home, it's on your account. That kind of stuff. Like, if they put all that together and make Gaikai work where you can stream all these games, you're talking about just an explosion of possibilities there, man. Trophies, games that you haven't played for 10 years. Your old PS1, PS2 favorites.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to happen. I mean,
I think it is too.
Good thing about Sony, and about even the companies that build games for Sony, like Sucker Punch and things like that. Like, they really listen and really study the trophy data, and they really listen to consumers when they like a game, don't like a game, like how certain games work, and they really take that into consideration. I mean, even with the PS4 and the way that it's built for game designers, they listened. Because regardless, people are going to buy the system. But if you make it so people, not only I'm going to buy it just basically because the gamers, but buy it because, excuse me, buy it because it opens up a whole different field of gaming. Then I mean, you're in there. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, two thumbs up, A plus. I don't know what else to even tell you.
Yeah.
But with some of the games I was looking at and that I'm excited for, I mean, actually I have a whole list. Um, I'll just say them off randomly, and then we can just talk about a few of them. But of course, Infamous Second Son, Puppeteer, Rain, Batman Arkham Origins. And I put that there because it's going to be a special DLC only for PlayStation. Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 15, The Witness, Knack, uh,
Dark
Murder,
Sorcerer,
Soul Suspect,
The Order,
The
Killzone
Order,
Shadowfall,
yeah.
Saints Row.
Now, okay, you said the Dark Sorcerer,
all
right?
these things. Yeah, that's that one
What the
title.
hell was that?
I have no idea. I mean, that was the thing. I've been talking to quite a few people about this. There was a lot of titles that they clarified by demonstrating some gameplay and stuff at E3, and then there were other titles that they announced and stuff, and I'm still like, what the hell's that about?
Exactly.
Dark Sorcerer looks awesome, but it was like one of these things. It's like they played kind of like they played it like there was an actor, and
It
that
was like a blooper reel.
yeah, it was like a green screen kind of thing, and that was not a real actor. That was a freaking digitally created person. And so, I mean, I don't know what the game's about. I'm sure it's not about a character that's an actor playing in a as a sorcerer or something. I'm sure it's about sorcery.
The thing is that sorcerer, like that guy, that was the face that they used
Yeah, the
during
old
the
man.
PS4 conference.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, oh, I recognize that guy, and like he was like using dark magic, and I was like, this kind of reminds me of like Vigo the Carpathian, which if you don't know what that is,
Ghostbusters.
thank you. Turn off the podcast right now. Leave my site. Don't ever listen to this again. But yeah, Ghostbusters 2. I was like, this is like gonna be interesting. Then like if you look at his staff, it was like a human heart.
Uh-huh.
I was like, yo, what the hell is this? And then it's like he messed up a word. It's like, oh, wait, cut. I was like, okay, what is going on? Like, I watched the whole, I think it was like 12 minutes, and I still had no idea what it was. And
Well, here's hoping
kinda,
it's a really cool game and not you're an actor trying to make a movie called Dark Sorcerer or something.
I feel like it's not even a game. Like, was there anything that actually said it was a game?
It's got to be a game about sorcery. I mean, it just has to. It's called Dark
I'm hoping
Sorcerer
it
for.
is. I mean, if they did all that just to, because I was watching on YouTube, and I just went and watched watched that 12-minute clip solo on YouTube, and people were like, well, what game is this? I don't understand this game. And the other people were like, it's not a game. They're just showing off the PS4 graphics.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, that would really piss me off.
Yeah,
It's
they
made
need to
by,
make a game out of it.
Chronic Dreams.
If it's not a game, they need to make a game. It looks good.
Yeah, it does. And like it's made by, a breakout, like just like a breakthrough company.
Don't tease us.
So I was just like, okay, this is gonna be a great game. Like no matter what they bring out, I'm like a fan of. And then it turned into that, but whatever. Another game, Daylight, which is I saw a trailer for that. It's been on Sony's website for almost a year now.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea it was going to be for PS4. I guess it's going to be for both of them maybe, but Daylight, that looks like a very crazy psychological horror game.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dying Light, when I first watched the trailer, I was like, oh, this is going to be exciting. It has like the free running, it's like parkour.
Yeah.
And then I saw the zombies or infested people. And I'm like, I'm so sick of this.
You zombied out?
Yes, and like I think last time we talked, I was talking about how much of a fan I am of zombies, but damn, like I was seriously like another game like this, like you couldn't take it, because like okay, the way that the trailer goes, like an airplane flies over and it drops, what I would assume to just be like, food, goods, whatever. It parachutes that down, and then people just start running towards it. Why can't this be like, a dystopian future? People are fighting for, food, and just have it like that. Why do you have to have infested zombies and like that's just getting old? And it kind of had like a little, if you're an Infamous player, like a little Infamous 2, how he has that weapon that he can charge with electricity. It kind of had that added on to it.
Yeah.
It was just, it looks exciting. It'll probably be a game that I play, but I'm just tired of the zombies.
Well, hey, at least we have Infinity Ward doing the next Call of Duty Ghosts instead of Black Ops 3 with zombies. Because don't we have we have Plants versus Zombies? There's a lot of zombie stuff. You got to admit, it's overdone but oh well.
Even Walking Dead, yeah, they're doing something for the PS Vita, which is fine. I mean, the when you buy The Walking Dead, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just that, and between that and the Dark Sorcerer, I was like, okay, moving on.
So what's your standout?
So what?
You have a standout? You have one that just like you're just like, I'm getting that. That's like, what's at the top of your list?
The top of my list are like 3 to 4 things. Second Son, of course, we talked about that many times.
And you're an Infamous. You've played all the other Infamouses. You're a fan, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Which actually, just real quick about that, they were just like a separate conference after, like at the Sucker Punch booth, and they were talking about what's going to happen with Cole McGrath. Because I was the type of I was the player who I did sacrifice Cole, but in the very end, a big lightning bolt hits his boat. Which is spoiler alert if you haven't played it yet. So I was thinking, oh, he'll be back. They confirmed it. He is completely dead because what they did was they took all the trophy information on how players played the game. And I think he said a number, like he said almost every player, like kind of whispered it. But then on another little interview, he said a number. I think it's like 80 to 85% of all players sacrifice Cole for him to die. So he's dead.
Moving on.
They're not going to bring him back. I think that was smart to do. Yeah. But yeah, Second Son, Kingdom Hearts 3. I played the first 2 Kingdom Hearts from PlayStation 2. So I didn't go into all the other side Kingdom Hearts. Final Fantasy 15.
Now, are you going to get the Kingdom Hearts HD collection that's coming out?
I probably will, because it does have September. All the other side Kingdom Hearts. So maybe play that and lead into Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, I think it's Kingdom Hearts 1.5 HD or something like that.
Yeah, it has a long title.
Second week of September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 15. I'm an old school Kingdom Hearts fan. I mean, not Kingdom Hearts fan, Final Fantasy fan. I think the last Final Fantasy game I played that I actually liked was Final Fantasy X. So I'm willing to get that again. And then these other 2, or this other one, I just marked this one. That's like the top one. Murdered Soul Suspect. Did you see the trailer for that?
Yes. Yep.
That one, I was just like, I had no idea what the hell I was watching.
So how can you not have Destiny up there? You got Destiny on your list at all?
It is on my list, but it's not on the top.
Oh my gosh, that was incredible, the footage and stuff. That game looks so interesting to me. I want that.
It does look interesting, but I was just like, how can I say this? It kind of, at least to me, was a callback to an Xbox title that will remain nameless.
I didn't get any of that from it. Actually, I like the idea of where some of these games are going with blending single player to pulling it into like having someone with you for co-op, and then like multiplayer where they like come across other groups and stuff, and they all work together to kind of take down a bigger enemy. Mm-hmm. I mean, like all that stuff, man. That's the way games should be. there's this strong separation all the time when people are playing by themselves. And, let's face it. I mean, the best AI is always going to be another
That's
human
true.
skill against you or with you. And so I think, if they get into start having more games where the good guys and the bad guys are human and making games work and having seamless between, single player, because let's face it, what's single player and multiplayer and co-op? There are three different games, and it's hard to make them all meld into the same story arc if you have three different stories like that. You're trying to make it so, the single player, it's like you have a set gun, and then the multiplayer, everybody wants variety, and they want to play with a certain number of their friends. And these online persistent worlds and stuff are coming up. And if you just jam all that together and make it so like the single player experience is also the multiplayer experience and also the co-op experience, and your AI and stuff, it just flows naturally, man, that's a win for gamers because you're just going to make it more and more fun, more and more interactive. You're going to get people that are playing the same kind of games with each other. They're going to stick with a game for longer because it's going to be more different every time because it's not as scripted. Um, you know, that's
I mean,
freaking
I
cool.
agree in terms of the gameplay, but I'm just not. I mean, I said this many times too. I'm not a first-person shooter
Yeah,
fan,
yeah.
so like that turned me off. But in terms of the game, like the actual story behind it, because I actually wrote an article about it about maybe 2 months ago. Like the actual story behind it sounds very interesting, but just the gameplay, I just don't like first-person shooters. I just can't get into them. I feel like it's
Fair
more of
enough.
like a I don't know. I just get kind of like dizzy when I play it. Like I like to see the character, like see my avatar, basically.
So you like the third person?
Yeah, like
So you like
if
third
it
person shooters, just not first person shooters?
exactly. I was about to say
That's
if it was
interesting.
like a third person view, because like they kind of said that Infamous is more like a third person shooter, which it kind of is. I can play that game all day. I have no problem playing that game. Red Dead Redemption,
You get
which is
do you get motion sick then?
it's not motion sickness, just motion confusion, basically.
Oh, okay. I get a
Cause
little bit of
like
motion sickness. People, I don't know how many people out there experience it, but there are certain games I can't play that do make me queasy
hmm
because of jumpy cameras and there's nothing worse than like you're in a game and you're flying in a helicopter or something and it's just vibrating and shaking your screen and stuff like that. Yeah, I can't stare at that for too long.
right.
And it ruins games for me when they're like that. And that's one of the problems I had with Resistance 3 was I could not play that game. It just
Yeah, for me
so
it's
yeah, I
just
know what you
too
mean.
confusing.
And then there's
Like
that
I
thing
played
like it's control of the camera while you're also moving. That's probably the ones that you're talking about specifically, like where you have to use both sticks not only to like your direction but also kind of like your camera view to look around.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was gonna say. Like if I'm like in like an environment, like I get hit from behind, I have to like use one to turn around, use the other one to back up. And I'm just like I just can't focus. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah.
Maybe that's evolutionary default or defunct, I guess. But I was excited about Murder Soul Suspect simply for how they described it.
Cool.
They said it was a title that they based off of Die Hard, and it
Really?
was kind of like what would happen if John McClane died
Okay.
and he became a ghost. And I'm just like, okay, well, you sold me. Um, that sold me. And then when I watched the trailer, they had like a little eerie Silent Hill type of vibe to it. So I'm all in.
So you a fan of the horror stuff then too? Because Dante's raving about that. He really wants to see a lot more horror type series coming out and stuff. And I'm
I'm not like
just
a big fan, but it's
yeah.
just like after I played Heavy Rain, I'm kind of like, all right, let's get into this. Like as
Let's
long
do
as I
it.
have like a good storyline, I'm into it.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, I don't know, but Destiny, definitely getting that one after seeing this. Beyond Two Souls, I'm sold. Battlefield 4 looked awesome. What'd you think of that?
I
Some
liked it
dice.
in terms of graphics. Once again,
Yeah.
it's just the type of game.
Um,
Like there wasn't one game that I'm like, okay, that looks like garbage. I'm not gonna get it because even though the witness, I'm kind of like, okay, I'll play that.
Yeah. Wow, there's just so much, man. The Order, that's one of those ones I'm kind of like, still what's that about? Killzone Shadowfall, oh, that looks great.
Even though the Order, it looks nice, it's kind of the whole gameplay of it where it's like, okay, it's a shooter, and there are these dark creatures from the night, most likely a freaking zombie, that we got to destroy. I was kind of like, okay, when I hear more about the story, then I'll get into it. Okay, at first I thought, oh, maybe it's like werewolves, but then I was just like...
Next thing you know, Madden NFL 26 Zombie Edition.
Oh, that's going to happen. You know that's going to happen.
Somebody's like, ooh, that's a good idea. Writing it down.
Yeah, exactly.
Lego zombies. Hey, Assassin's Creed Black Flag. What do you think?
I'm kind of over the Assassin's Creed series.
You what about?
It looked good, but I'm just like,
You're not a fan of Assassin's Creed?
Not anymore.
I wasn't. I played the first one, hated it, but Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag, I'm coming back. That is looking spectacular. Dude, you get to play as a pirate.
Yeah, like the thing is,
badass assassin pirate.
My roommate, he plays all of them. Like that's the only series that he has collected.
What'd he say about it?
And God of War. So he'll have it, and I'll just either play it when I get interested, or I'll just ask him, okay, what happened? Just spoil it for me. I don't care.
What'd he say about it? Is he looking forward to it?
That's the only thing he is looking forward to.
You know, I'm interested what Assassin's Creed fans think about it, because it's kind of a change in direction from previous, I mean, this is going to pirate versus, assassin, so.
That he was actually happy about. Like, it's just something different.
Yeah.
So he was like, I'll play it.
Yeah, because, I mean, assassin getting a little old, right? Being an assassin every game.
Yeah.
So this is a neat little take on it. Now, I wonder if they'll continue to go through different time frames and points in history. Because, I mean, you could carry Assassin's Creed out if you, carry that storyline about assassins. It's like some kind of assassin's guild throughout any phase of history. You could really do it in any time period, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how the story...
All the way through until you could do a futuristic.
Until present. Well, I think at least till present. I mean, if they do like a futuristic, it's probably going to involve zombies. So...
Assassin's Creed 5 zombies.
Exactly. But I don't know. I'm really excited about the games. Like, people are taking advantage of what PS4 has to offer, and we're just looking at new type of games, like just new ideas, which I think it's just exciting.
Yeah.
Which, even though it's not a new idea per se, like it's not a new IP. Batman Arkham Origins, sign me up.
Mm-hmm.
I think that entire they can come out with 10 Batman games. I will probably buy all of them.
Now, are you really excited about the 1960s Batman exclusive outfit?
No, I can care less about that.
Because I think that's what the exclusive content is, right?
It's just different type of skins. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But like when I bought Arkham City Game of the Year, after you beat the game, all that stuff gets unlocked for you.
Wasn't there a Joker suit in one before?
Not that I know of. At least not in Arkham City there wasn't.
I thought there was an exclusive, maybe that was a pre-order bonus. I could have sworn it was like a Joker outfit.
That wasn't one on that I had at least.
But maybe I could be wrong. So.
Either way, I'm excited about all these games coming out. Oh, Rain. That was a game I wanted to talk about. Did you see that game?
It's the one that looks like ghost children running around through the rain.
Yeah.
That's another one of those ones. It's like, what's this about?
But like
it looks beautiful.
At the same time, I was like, this kind of reminds me of Echo. You know what game I'm talking about?
Yeah. It was Echo.
It was like a callback to that, and like, I mean, mind you, you didn't have to hold her hand throughout the whole entire thing. But but I'm pretty sure that's the right game, or is that Guardian? I'm getting my games confused. I know there are people listening to this.
You're like, no, that was
Cursing
Need for
my name.
Speed.
Cursing my name. I'm ashamed of myself. Regardless, it was just a callback of a previous game that I played a long time ago. It was hard as hell. I never beat it. I should dig it back out, but I don't know. That was just an
Wait
interesting
for
game.
Gaikai.
Like,
Play it.
there you go. It was just an interesting game. Like, it was just kind of like, what were the creators thinking when they made this game up? I mean, what's the whole story behind it? Why are these kids invisible? Why is this city? Why does it always rain in this city?
Hmm.
It was just interesting. And there was like some demon following the girl that can only be seen in the rain too.
Yeah. That's what I mean, man. We haven't even touched on, like, there's so many titles. I mean, think about what we're, um, just like all this stuff. The Bureau, XCOM Declassified, Watch Dogs, that new Wolfenstein. We haven't talked about any of those, and it's just like there's so many titles. That's why I say Sony just really they brought it, but then there's still so many questions,
I'm
Enemy
willing
Front.
to
There's that game. I haven't heard too much about that.
wait, what game?
Enemy Front. There's
I
some
haven't
game
heard of that
announced
game.
that's going to be the new year for PS3, I believe. I don't know if it's going to be on both. Killer is Dead.
Did see that. I was wondering what that game was.
Let's see what else is. Of course, the Madden and the FIFAs, and still don't know a whole lot about Elder Scrolls Online.
Hmm.
Dark Souls 2. There's just so much coming out that it's overwhelming. Oh, what about the Tom Clancy stuff? Splinter Cell, Blacklist, and I think there's another title. Saints Row. What about Saints Row? That looked awesome too.
I watched it, but I was kind of uninterested.
Remember Me. That just came
Remember
out.
Me? I've been hearing about Remember Me for a while.
I think that just came out though.
Yeah, that's what I said. I thought that game already came out. I was interested when I first saw that trailer for Remember Me. Now I'm just kind of like, I'll play you when I play you.
But my brain's fried though, which is so many titles going through my head. I thought I knew what I wanted through the rest of the year, and now it's like I'm literally like,
I
Call
want
of
to
Duty
play
Ghosts
everything.
is like, who cares? I want Destiny. Assassin's Creed, that I absolutely despised the first one and didn't finish it, and sold it right away. I'm like Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Like all these games, it's changed my perspective on what kind of things I want to play and give it another shot to, and
Right.
I want more information. Like Dark Sorcerer, just like give me some more freaking information. So
Dark Sorcerer, that better be a real game.
it better be. It better be.
Because I wasted 12 minutes of my life that I'll never get back.
But could someone find out for me what is the Rockstar Sony deal? Someone uncover that. Let me know.
All right. Well, hey, you guys have your mission for the week if you choose to accept it. Like we said, this is going to be a very short episode, so we are out. I am
Yes.
IDP for Life. You can find me on Twitter at IDP for Life, or you can send me a message via email at news@TrophiesonPSN.com. What about you, Kryptonite?
Well, I just made a Twitter account for Kryptonite Dragon. It's without the O at the end because in Dragon. But you can add me on there and also reach me on the site, admin@TrophiesonPSN.com. And, of course, you can find me on the site and PlayStation Network as Kryptonite Dragon. So I'm pretty easy to find and to reach.
All right. So once again, you have your mission for the week. Find out the Rockstar and PlayStation deal. If you choose to accept it, please step away from your listening device. It will explode in 5, 4, 3, 2,